Welcome, everybody, to the virtual open house of the Bay Community Theater. We are the Bay Community Theater. We're a nonprofit organization based in Suttons Bay, Michigan, and we operate the Bay Theater in Suttons Bay. We're here today to talk about where we are today, where we plan on going a little bit, and what we're going to need from community support and how you can help us and keep us going, but also to find out what we're doing because we are open and we'd like you to participate. So here to talk about this is going to be our board of directors. We don't have everybody here today, but let's just say hello to them. The first one on our list is going to be Rick Andrews. Rick Andrews is our president and operating officer here. He does a very good job of keeping us all in line. So there's Rick. Thank you very much. Then also we have Jim Naring, Jim Narin, excuse me. I never get, sorry, Jim. Jim, he's our treasurer. And thank you, Jim. He keeps our books and everything running good. Also, we have Jeff Slocum. He's our secretary, keeping track of everything going on. We also have Denise Genoa, who's our volunteer coordinator, but she couldn't make it today, so she's not online today. And last but not least, we also have Sherry Edwards, who is our programming director. Her and her team take care of all the programming for the theater. And she's also helping out behind the scenes today by looking and keeping track of all the questions and answers and comments. So thank you very much, Sherry. So to get started today a little bit, let's take a little look at, excuse me here. Yeah, there we go. So let's go and take a look at what our agenda is today. Today, we're going to talk about 3 different basic things. And we're slowly starting here, but we're going to get into it in just a second. We're going to talk about progress, priorities, and plans. Then we're going to talk about the community support, and then we're going to have a chance for Q&A. Now, how this works for Q&A is if you look over on the right side of your screen, I think that's right, okay? If you go look on the right side of your screen, you see this was comments. Well, please put any comments you have. We are looking for ideas, suggestions, and also questions you may have about what we're presenting or what's going on at the theater. So put them in there, and at the end, we hopefully get a chance to discuss those at the end, all right? So if you put them in there, Sherry will be monitoring those, and we'll be putting some up for selected answers on the screen to talk about, all right? So that's how it's going to work. And please chat with your friends and fellow theater goers, as you see on the comment section. And you can post your questions there and listen in. All right. So to get started, let's first talk about progress, priorities, and plans. And what I want to do is turn this over now to Rick. And Rick is going to take this over and is going to be talking to us about progress, priorities, and plans.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, at least in a virtual way, for this open house. We've done this before live in the theater, and that's always a lot of fun. It's a great way for us to stay connected to the community. So this is the first time we've done it virtually, but I'm happy to do it in this environment. Let me, before I get started, say, hey, Larry, thank you so much for being here today. I know you and Rita are in the middle of a family emergency. It's a really difficult time, but you made sure to make this happen today. So thank you very much, Larry, and our thoughts are with you and with Rita. So here I'm going to spend about the next 20 minutes or so going through, what has happened to the Bay over the last 6 months? What are we doing going forward? And what are our key priorities? And I think we have some fun, exciting news toward the end, so stick around. So Larry, let's get started. So first of all, some context. Just remember that as a nonprofit, we started about a year, maybe 20 months ago. January 2009, we started. We had a tremendous year last year. We grew our attendance by 45%. More than 17,000 people came through our doors. We raised $200,000. We actually, at the end of the year, were able to purchase the theater building along with the rental space next door with some financing. So that was terrific. We've also kept expenses very, very low. And, as we were starting 2020, we had such a great plan of live music, movies, all kinds of activities in the theater as we started 2020. And Larry, if you switch to the next, we all know then what happened, right? In March, COVID hit and theaters stopped. Our theater stopped completely. And Hollywood stopped. Hollywood stopped producing movies and stopped distributing movies. So we were really stuck. And if you move forward, Larry, here we were.
Sorry.
That's all right. So we had a choice about what do we do during this period. And we just said, let's take advantage of some of this downtime. And one of the things we did is we completely upgraded our computer system to a cloud-based system that makes our point of sales work better, our donor and fundraising management work better, our integration with the website better. So we are now state of the art in terms of our computer systems. We also launched Beyond the Bay, which is a virtual panelist program with movie watching, which we'll hear more about. And we did a lot in terms of trying to figure out how do we run our theater safely in this COVID environment. And to that point, I'd like to show a 1-minute video that one of our staff members made about how we're keeping safe. So there you have it. The mantra that we have now is be safe to be open. Hey, a big thanks to Zeke Smith who put that video together. Again, we'd love to have shown you all that stuff live in the theater, but I think the video goes a long way to helping explain that. So be safe to be open. And also during this COVID period, we put a little love into this, this classic theater of ours in Suttons Bay. One of the biggest complaints we'd have is about our dingy, dark, neglected bathrooms. Well, that is no longer the case. Now, if you go in, they're bright, they're clean, they're updated, really terrific, and a nice step forward for the theater. Also, if you remember in our lobby, our floors were this dingy, ugly, old sort of brick style flooring. Now it's bright and clean, all fresh, and looks great. And you'll also see some more artwork around the theater, which is terrific. So a little extra love for our theater is what we put into it during this COVID period. So Larry, why don't you keep moving? So then we got to about June, and the big question was, do we even bother opening? I mean, there are no new movies. Are people really going to show up? Is it risky? How do we do it? Anyway, we thought long and hard about that, and we decided that, hey, our mission now as a nonprofit community theater is to serve the community, is to provide entertainment, education, culture to the community. So we said, hey, let's do everything we can. So on July 10th, we opened. We decided to do $3 family fun movies 3 days a week. We actually we had a popcorn giveaway on July 4th to celebrate that. And we launched private screenings, which are an opportunity to bring friends and family for a private movie showing at the theater. And those have been getting a great response lately. So we opened up. So if you go to the next, Larry, here is just some examples of the movies that we put out there. Some of the best, most famous sort of summer fun movies: Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park, and many more. And during the summer, we were really getting noticed. We can see in the press, we were picked up by Travers Magazine, by the Ticker, by the Record Eagle, Enterprise, the TV news stations. We're all coming and seeing the theater alive and moving forward, which was really exciting and gratifying, and made us feel really good about, being open even under these circumstances. So that brings us to, okay, now what do we do? Where do we go from here? And if you move forward, we've identified you know, some good news and some not so good news. First of all, the reality is we just lost our high season. We lost the time of year where we make all our money and really pay our bills for the entire year. We also have to realize that Hollywood is still not launching movies. We're in October and they just postponed, for example, James Bond until next year. So Hollywood is still not sort of producing the product and distributing the product. And the reality is COVID-19 is still with us. And even if we get a vaccine quickly, which we all hope for, the reality is we think that there's going to be lingering effect and take a while for people to get comfortable coming back to the theater. So COVID's going to be around. So we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to snap out of this immediately. We see it, the slow sort of audience coming back will extend into 2021 for sure. Now, that's the not so good news. The good news is we have all of you folks. We have our community that's been really supportive, and they are starting to come back. Secondly, and I'm very proud of this, is that we're actually on solid financial footing and solid operational footing. We have money in the bank. We have an experienced board that now has been working together for nearly 2 years. And we have a small but really capable operations team that keeps the place moving. And we're finding new opportunities all the time to either raise our revenue or control our costs. So we're in a solid place. And that makes me very proud because some other theaters aren't doing so well. So the big question always comes, well, how can you guys survive? Can you guys make it? And the board with me very much want to make the message clear to everyone that yes, absolutely, we will survive. We're going to be around a long time, but we do need your help. And I would say that even before COVID hit, this was a community theater that needed your help. And we got your help last year in a big way. Now with COVID, we especially need your help. But the reality is community is part of what we do and will always be part of the success and sustainability of this theater. So clicking forward, Larry. So what's the plan? We've identified 3 major priorities looking forward. And the first one we just call what I've already talked about a couple times is be safe to be open. At the end of the day, this is the core activity of what we're doing. It's the focus of us every day in the theater. We have to live by example. We have to train our staff and our volunteers. We have to educate our patrons, our audiences. We're in close contact with our health authorities. And we need to be ready for surprises. At the end of the day, this is uncharted territory for a lot of us, for all of us. So be safe, to be open is priority number 1. Priority number 2 is we're naming it hunker down while you're being creative. Hunker down because, hey, we're not out of the woods on this. Our audiences are going to take a while to come back. So we have to be serious about keeping focus on keeping our expenses down. We have to be practical. We have to be open, not 7 days a week, but 3 days a week until demand shows us otherwise. We have to be careful. We have to be careful with our people, with our audiences, with our physical assets. There's a lot of sort of uncertainty in the air, and we have to be careful. But at the same time, let's not just be complacent. Let's be creative and find those ways to generate incremental revenue, and also, honestly, creative ways to keep our costs down. And I already mentioned private screenings. They're a great way to bring money in and create a wonderful experience at the theater in a safe way. Theater rentals is always available. We've been doing that for a while, and that's another great avenue for us. And event sponsorships. For example, last year we did quite a lot around Christmas and with the opera. There will be other opportunities that will help us support our mission and our financials. So hunker down while being creative is the second priority. Third is really all about remembering that we're in this for the long term. Keep our eye on the prize. And that prize is being a sustainable theater and one that is improving every day for our patrons. So let's not lose focus on the long term, and think of, we have a lot of challenges in front of us, but we'll get there and we'll be there for the long term. We can't forget about that. Okay. And in terms of the important work related to that is, and we'll get into this more in a second, is community support. We are a community theater. We can't survive without you. And we need to continue to engage with our community every day. A next point, which is rather maybe practical, but super important, is we want to pay down our mortgage. We want to pay down a chunk of it. So we're not paying interest. We're actually, money coming in is going to improve the theater, improve the programming. So getting that debt paid down is an important part of our next step. And finally, we want to make sure we don't forget about that important customer experience. We mentioned the restrooms renovation and the floors, things like that. That's really important, but there are many more things that we really need to do in this old theater. So let's move forward. At the core of everything is community support. And so I'm going to dedicate time to this subject. And there are two important initiatives that we're really launching today publicly. They are a Bay Community Theater membership program, and secondly, a foundation campaign, which I'll explain in a few minutes. So why don't we get into the membership program and go one more. Why don't you, Larry? We're going to be asking everyone to become a member of the theater, member of the community theater. We are now a membership organization, which means your support, becoming a member, helps our mission, also our operations, and of course our programming. So I'm sure many people are familiar with membership organizations, and we have just become one, and our program is just launching now. So we have a goal for the next, really to the end of the year, next 90 days, say. To the end of the year, we want to have 200 members joining the Bay Community Theater. Now, we think that's totally doable. 200 members, you think of the thousands of people who came through our doors and the hundreds of people who donated money to us in the last year and a half. 200 members is a great target for us for the end of the year. Now, let me explain these membership levels. There are three. First of all, there's a basic membership of just $30, and I'll explain what you get for that. And then there's a premium at $125 and a sustainer at $1,000. Okay. So let's talk about these membership levels in a little detail. The basic membership, and this is really a no-brainer. It's $30 for 1 year, but it actually allows you to bring a guest with you to the theater, and both of you will get $1 off admission for every movie you go to. You'll also get $1 off any popcorn and free refills. So that will add up very, very quickly and easily pay for that $30 membership. Not to mention that $30 will go to help the operations and the sustainability of the theater itself. So it's super important. But in terms of numbers and money, it's an easy, a great deal. For $30. You get these discounts right away, as well as advanced ticket purchasing for special events. You, of course, get to vote in our annual meeting as a member, and you get connected to the community theater in our membership newsletter. So we really want everybody to sign up for this basic membership. We feel like we've tried to keep it affordable so it's accessible to really everybody without even thinking much about it. So the premium level is $125. It has all the benefits of the basic, but here you get discounted tickets to special events, invitation to sort of special member-only events, and you also get free admission to the feature film every first Tuesday of the month. So hey, if you were to go to every first Tuesday feature film, that's worth $120 right there. So the premium membership is also really affordable and has some really nice benefits with it. And finally, the sustainer member is a $1,000 membership. Has all the memberships of the earlier one, except for two really important things. One is that you can bring a guest to any movie, any feature film we have for free. Just come on in, you're sort of VIP, and you don't have to pay. You come in to any movie you like in our feature film schedule. And secondly, a really fun thing is that you get to have a one-time private group screening of any movie that's available to us. So you can have a private family and friends event, and that's just because you're a sustaining member. So that's a very exciting a membership package as well. Now, so we have 3 membership levels. We want to get 200 basic members by the end of the year. And we have a special community member who stepped up and said, you know, we really want you to build this membership program, and we really believe in it. This community member said they will match the dollar value of those 200 members if we get them. So in other words, if you sign up for a $30 basic membership, this community member has said, I'm going to throw my own $30 in to match that. And that person will do that up to the 200 member target that we have until the end of the year. So what a great way. If you sign up now before the end of the year, that impact, that benefit to the theater will be doubled by this community member. So a terrific, generous offer from this community member, and it makes it even easier for all of us to sign up for a basic membership. Okay. You can do it online. That's what this screen is saying right now, is you can easily sign up, use a credit card, and you're in, and feature the, just click on the membership section, and you'll follow your way to becoming a member. So that's easy enough. Okay. So please help us get to that goal of 200 basic members. That's an exciting thing. It will be really helpful for our theater. And I think the benefits will pay off very quickly for you anyway. Okay. So that's the membership program that we're starting today. And the second point in the whole area of community support is the foundation campaign that we're launching as well. Now, this is a larger fundraising effort that is our goal for 2020 and 21 is to raise $350,000. And as the name implies, the idea of this is to really set the foundation for the Bay Community Theater's sustainability into the future. And let me explain that a little more. So we say 350,000. If you go to the next slide, Larry, why 350? Well, we want to take, like I mentioned before, we want to pay down our mortgage to the tune of $250,000. That won't pay off all our mortgage, but that will make a significant reduction in our mortgage, and to the point where the retail space next to us will actually end up covering 100% of the theater building in our taxes. So as you could think, the theater is going to be completely rent-free or mortgage-free and in net terms, if we can do that. Secondly, we have some work to do in the theater in terms of our equipment, the screen, the curtain or masking, as they call it, stage lights, all need to be replaced, especially if we're going to be doing more live events and other things along with our movies. So that's an important upgrade or replacement of deteriorated assets that we have to get to. And lastly, 2020 has been a really tough year. It has hit us financially. We want to make sure that we have our rainy day fund and operating fund in good order. So we'll replenish that with some of this fundraising. So that's the 350,000 between now and the end of 2021. Okay, if you go to the next slide. Now you might say, well, geez, that sounds like a lot of money. That's a lot of money, $350,000. Well, it is and it isn't. Things are very expensive, but we can see how we need those funds. And we have one community member, a husband and wife, who are from the area, and they have come to us and said, we really believe in what you're doing. We think you're doing a wonderful job, and we're ready to step up. And in fact, they are ready to match. And this is a tremendous thing. They said they are ready to match dollar for dollar every donation up to $100,000 to the Bay Community Theater. So we have a husband and wife who are ready to write a check to Bay Community Theater for $100,000 The only thing is they want the rest of the community to also take this opportunity and donate to the Bay. So it's a matching fund of up to $100,000. So every dollar that we raise will be matched up to that number, which is fantastic, and a fantastic effort and generous offer from this community member, which we're so grateful for. So starting now, and really to the end of the year, we think we should raise that $100,000 now and get that 100,000 turned into that 200,000 by getting the full match. Okay. And so this is a time where we can really make big progress against our goal of $350,000 for our foundation campaign and do all the things we want. So that's so exciting that we can announce that and get moving in that direction. And so you'll be hearing more about this, but please, you can donate on our website. You can donate at the theater. You can find the address for donation and so forth on the website. So this is the time between now and the end of the year, especially as everybody's doing their year-end planning, to remember the Bay Community Theater. And we have this matching program of up to $100,000. Really a terrific thing. So why don't you move forward? So just to sum up what I've gone through, it's been a brutal year. No question about it. In fact, one could say this is a lost year for us because we lost our high season. But we're not going anywhere. With your help, we're not going anywhere. There are three priorities: be safe to be open, hunker down while being creative, keep our eye on the prize, which is the long-term sustainability. And then we launched 2 new programs today. Our membership program, it just costs $30, and we've got 100% match against the first 200 people who sign up. So that's incredible. And then we've got this other $100,000 matching gift ready to start against our foundation campaign. So the community really wants us to be here, and we've got some wonderful community members stepping up. So we're super grateful for that. So let's now, if we can, we create this space to be able to try to, in a virtual way, to have some questions and answers. I don't know where that stands, Larry, or do we want to just address certain issues, or how do you feel?
I think we can go to Sherry right now and ask if she has any questions that you can post from the audience, or is there another one that we've collected earlier? We did get some questions earlier. So the first question is, the Bay Community Theater still seeking volunteers? Rick, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, I can take that. We are absolutely still looking for volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers. Now, at the same time, this has been an unusual period where some of our volunteers have said, hey, we're not quite ready to go back to the theater. And we totally understand that. But things are beginning to change. People are interested in coming back. So the answer is yes. So you can contact us via our website, and it's volunteering in the theater as well as outside the theater.
Okay. Sherry, you have another question for us? How many people can come to a film showing under current COVID-19 restrictions?
I'll take that until you tell me not to, Larry.
Okay.
Okay. So our limit is 25% of our capacity, which means 50 seats. And as you may have seen in the video, we have those 50 seats identified and spread out through the theater. So nobody is sitting in front of you, in back of you, to the left or to the right. And that works out really well.
Okay. And I just want to remind everybody out there listening, if you have any questions or comments or ideas, please put them in the comments area. Just type them in on your screen on the YouTube channel on the right, or sometimes on the bottom. It'll indicate that you can type in and post a comment. Please go ahead and do that. We do like to hear from everybody. But we did get a lot of questions. We've had a lot of questions coming in. So Sherry, is there another question we can answer? What was that Beyond the Bay series? Is it open to anyone? How can I participate? I will talk about that one.
Yeah, Larry, that's good for you.
The Beyond the Bay series is a series of films that we set up, classic films, in the spring during COVID, and we ran it as a live stream, live Q&A, and we did introductions to the films, and then we allowed people to go out and watch on streaming at their choice to watch the film, and then we would come and have live Q&As. And you go to our YouTube channel, the Bay Theater YouTube channel, and you can see some of those Q&A sessions, just like in the theater, except it's all live. And they're classical films and are put together by our programming team, and that's who is basically on the a lot of the Q&As. We did have some guests. Jeff Slocum was a guest because he was a attorney, and we did Anatomy of a Murder. But we have a film historian, a professional in the industry, and other members of the programming team that work well. So is it open to anyone? Yes, you can. And what I'd recommend to do is to go to our YouTube channel. YouTube channel is the Bay Theater, and you can sign up. Actually, here today, you're watching this on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, and you can subscribe to us and get us notices whenever we are coming out with a new Beyond the Bay. And just to let you know, we're starting Beyond the Bay again, and so that means is a week from today will be our first live stream Q&A at 7:30 next Tuesday. And it's going to be on The Manchurian Candidate. And this time, The Manchurian Candidate will be at the theater on the weekend. And if you can't come in or don't feel comfortable, you can still watch it on streaming, whatever way you want. But come join the live Q&A. If you see from some of those, you watch some of those Q&A sessions, they're quite fun. We have a good audience and people experience it. So if you like classic films and you like a good discussion on it, please participate in Beyond the Bay. Thank you very much. Sherry, anybody else? Okay. Are you taking film suggestions for the next Beyond the Bay series? We always are looking for suggestions. You can send them to info@baycommunitytheater.com. Excuse me, org. info@baycommunitytheater.org, or put some suggestions here today in your comments. We are always glad to see those things. We have a lot of people want to look at a lot of different things, and we can only run one show a week. That's all we're limited to. So we're doing about, how many can we do in a year? Is maybe 50, but we're trying to show a range of them. And our plan was to show, starting now, 2 a month as we're closed and slowing down, and see what the response is and building out. But we'd like to hear your comments. The programming team likes talking about movies. They love it. So it's really good for you guys to suggest movies. So thank you very much. Please go ahead and email us something, send us to us, and put a comment in here. That'd be great. Sherry, do we have anything else? Another question? Who do I speak to about private screenings? Well, that will be Sherry Edwards. Hi, Sherry.
Hello. You can speak to me about private screening. I would suggest you go to our website first. There's an application form to fill out, and that will give me a sense of what you're looking to do, what the size of your group is, whether or not you want concessions, what time are you thinking of. We are available for private screenings Monday through Thursday at either 4:30 or 7:30. The calendar is starting to fill up for October. But this gives you an opportunity to come to the theater with your immediate circle of friends and family and view a film of your choice. So the people who have done it have been extremely pleased with how it went and felt very comfortable. So go to the website, fill out the application, send that to me, and then we'll have a discussion and get you scheduled.
Thank you, Sherry. All right. Any other questions we have out there? Also, I see people commenting. So the first question, another question is, do COVID-19 limits and restrictions apply to private screenings? Sherry, do you want to take that, or Rick? Sherry?
Yeah, I can do it. Yes, they do. We have all of the same protocols in place for private screening. So masks are required, the seating is required. Of course, if you're with your immediate family, we'll seat you together, but same protocols.
Okay. All right, good. And I see we have Bob and Donna. Thank you very much. We're happy to contribute $500 to the foundation campaign. I see that in the comments. We really appreciate that very much. Appreciate that. That's very good. Thank you. And that's a very good comment. All right, good. Thank you.
Any more comments like that, Dave, Larry?
That was good, Bob and Donna. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it because we all know the Bay Theater is a part of this Leelanau community, and it provides so much to it, and we just want to keep it here. And during these times, we need the support. So thank you. Any more questions, Sherry? When will you be doing live performances again? Well, Sherry, again, do you want to share? Well, let's go put this one to Sherry again. Sherry, when will we be doing live performances again?
Okay, I shouldn't post these questions that require me to answer all of them. We've had some opportunities for live performances or even movies where we have someone who has a local connection. But with our attendance as low as it is right now, it's sort of like we want to save those special events when we're really back up to our previous levels, because we just want to make sure that when we do something that special, that we take full advantage of it for the community. So I think it's probably going to be a while, but we do keep our eye on to see, when will we be able to do some sort of live performance or community event and make it work for the community.
Okay.
Yeah, I would add, if I can, Larry.
Yeah.
I would love to have live performances sooner rather than later. But I think there's also the reality of, at 50 people, the economics aren't there to really even for a band or somebody to come in when your audience is only going to be 50 people. So it's really tough under that restriction. So maybe that's just what you were going to say, Sherry, or maybe you said it and I missed it.
Okay. Well, good. Anything else? Another question there, Sherry? What is happening with the chemical bank space? Rick or Jim? Jim, do you want to go with that? Rick?
I'm happy to take it.
Okay.
So Chemical Bank, as everybody knows, got merged with TCF. And they gave us formal notice maybe 2 months ago that they were closing that branch, which we already knew. Over that period of time, Jim, our treasurer, and I, and Jeff Slocum, our secretary, have been negotiating with TCF, and we've now signed a lease termination agreement with TCF. So now, as of, I guess, about October 1st, we're free to lease that space to a new tenant. Now, that's all brand new information. Really, the lease termination went into effect October 1. So we didn't want to go public or market the property at all before that was finalized. Now that is finalized. And now Corey Byerly from Century 21 Northland is going to represent our property. And we're now putting that listing together, deciding how to proceed. But the property is going to be available for lease.
Okay. Jeff or Jim, would you like to say anything further? No.
No, thanks. I think we covered it just fine. Thanks.
Okay, good. Well, that was a good question. Thank you. Sherry, do you have another one? How will I get my Bay membership card? Do I have to come to the theater? I can answer that question. So the Bay membership cards will be mailed to you. You can fill it all online and become a member, and the cards will be mailed to you. We have a fulfillment service that's doing that for us. The card will be mailed to you, but the benefits are available immediately. So if you go become a member online and then you want to order tickets after doing that, you can get all the benefits available. The same thing is true as if you come into the theater. You don't get your card at the theater because it takes processing to make these nice laminated cards and everything. So what will happen is that you can become a member when you come to the theater and then apply for the benefits and use benefits at the theater while right there at the same time you do it, but your card will come in the mail and it will come with a letter and telling you about your benefits, etc. Is that good? I hope so. All right. Can I give a Bay membership as a gift to someone? Yes, you can. And we're going to be doing more of that as we get closer to Christmas. We are probably going to we will be marketing that as a gift, give a gift of membership. We will be doing that coming up. Some people in the past have done that with gift cards. We do also have gift cards available, but a membership works just the same way or similar, and as far as using a card. So we will be marketing Bay memberships as a gift as we get closer to the season. Can we use our member discount with the current $5 films? I think Sherry's trying to keep me talking. So can we use our membership with discount $5 films? No. The $5 films are currently special events held during this time. The price has been reduced and everything because of the fact that it isn't in theatrical release, meaning that it's an older film, and that we feel this is a more reasonable price and for people to come out. And that's why we have it. It's a special price, a special reduced price. So right now for the current films for the $5, no, it won't be available. It's only available for our regular price programs. And when we get to that point, that will all fully be available. Thank you. Does the Bay Community Theater need more behind the scenes volunteer help? Yes. Rick, do you want to address that? Or Sherry want to address that? We have a lot of people who can address it. Jim?
Ken, if you want.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, there's a lot that does go on behind the scenes, and we're a pretty small team. So, everything from bookkeeping to coordinating fundraising, and I don't mean necessarily making phone calls or something. I'm talking about getting thank you letters out, making sure everything's tracking properly, and just the administration of these programs need help. We also have, if somebody, for example, has ability in graphic arts, we're doing digital advertising, whether it's posters or other things for our website. We're all flyers. We always need that kind of help. So yes, we'd be curious about what you might be interested in and what kind of skills you might want to lend to the theater.
Yeah, we do need volunteers more than just working behind the concessions. We need people helping us, like Rick was saying, in so many different areas. We also are looking for people with financial help or backgrounds. We're looking for people to be officers and maybe be board members, okay? So those are things we do need volunteers. We need people to participate with us, and we're hoping that by becoming a member that we will also see people become more active. So next, will the chemical bank space someday be part of an expanded Bay Theater? Well, Rick, we all kind of talked about this. We'd like that, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, I would say all of us on the board think that space is gold in terms of expansion opportunity for the theater to make the theater even better. It could be an additional screen. It could be social space. It could be lots of things. So we absolutely see it as expansion territory for the theater. But the board is also sort of at this point of we have to be a bit practical at this point. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Finances aren't great. We have a debt to pay down, so we're probably going to be leasing it for a period of time while we build our plans to expand. But the fun part is expanding, because I think we all think that's a wonderful thing to do. We just have to get our plan together and take care of the short-term situation.
But any other board member? Okay, Sherry, another question? Yeah, the chemical space, as part of the whole building, is really, we see that as part of the future. So what's showing at the theater right now? What's showing at the theater right now is this weekend is coming up is the Manchurian Candidate. Manchurian Candidate. Or Sherry, you want to say? I should have picked on you. I'm sorry.
I can add to that. Yes, we have the Manchurian Candidate starting this Friday, and that is the 1962 version. So you definitely want to watch that. And I'm not sure if it was mentioned, but I think tomorrow on YouTube, the intro to that movie, which was put together by one of our programming team members, Ted Kroll, I think will be available on YouTube. So you want to watch that before you watch the movie, either at the theater or at home streaming. Following week will be The American President. And then the week after that, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which will also be part of our Beyond the Bay film series, which will go to every other week on Tuesdays. Then for November, we haven't locked it in yet, but November will be Hitchcock month. So we're looking to get 4 different Hitchcock films, and 2 of those will be part of Beyond the Bay as well. So I think Spooky November with Alfred Hitchcock will be a lot of fun for everyone.
Thank you.
Hey,
Rick?
Larry?
Yeah.
And I know this bounces back to Sherry, so she may not like me for this, but if we have time within the constraints here and with other questions that people want to get in, I think one, it would be interesting to mention the fun stuff we have lined up for Halloween. And secondly, if you have a minute, just explain a little bit how we determine what movies to put out. I often get asked that question. Is like, how does that work? And how do you end up with what you end up with?
Well, we have a weekly programming meeting, and we discuss planning out for the next month or 2 months, what we'd like to do, how it works in with the season. We put together sort of our wish list, and then I will send an email to our film broker and say, okay, this is what we're looking at, what is available. And a lot of times we're not able to get the films that are on our first list. Disney is particularly problematic. It's a lot of discussion, and I think, having our programming team with some very different perspectives helped us get to a good blend of film. So we try to have, some family films, some more mature films, foreign films, indie films, a good blend. So I think that's the answer to that. Now, for Halloween, that weekend, Halloween is on Saturday this year. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday at our normal times, we're going to be playing Beetlejuice. So that'll be 7:30 Friday, 7:30 Saturday, 4:30 Sunday. At 10:30 on Friday and 10:30 on Saturday, we're going to be playing Halloween, original Halloween. And then on Saturday at 2:00, we'll have a very family-friendly, fun movie of Hotel Transylvania. So a lot of fun for the Halloween weekend. And we're going to be giving away posters at the 2:00 and 10:30 viewings.
That's great. Thanks, Sherry.
Thanks. And Sherry, you still didn't ask a question. How do you come up with that answer? How do you pick them? How do you end up with that answer?
Well, I thought I tried to.
Well, it's art and science for sure.
Discussion. Maybe it's like making sausage sometimes, but we don't always get our first picks, but usually we do pretty good. We have a good working relationship with our film broker.
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit, Sherry. I mean, you think about last year where we had early premieres of some fabulous movies, whether it was Toy Story 4 or Downton Abbey or, Rocket Man. You have gotten some amazing films, and I keep hearing it around town. So keep it up.
Great team effort, and great community support.
Yep. Thank you, Sherry. You're doing great. You and your team are doing just great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So do we have another question there, Sherry?
Let me see.
She's been a little busy answering questions.
Let's see. I'll give you that one.
How many $5 tickets does the Bay need to sell each weekend to make it work?
You want me to try?
You want to try that, Rick? Go ahead.
Okay. I hate not being able to see who asked these questions, because it's a great one. It's a great one. And my mind works this kind of way. So here goes. So it all depends on what movie we're talking about. Some of these older movies, we might pay $100 for the weekend to be able to play an older movie. So you say, okay, $100 a weekend, 3 showings, $33 to show that movie. And that's quite affordable. So you don't need that many $5 tickets to be able to at least cover the cost of the movie. And then we have usually a volunteer and a paid staff for a handful of hours to be able to show that movie. So the number of tickets will vary. And I typically say that you probably need 15 to 20 as a rule of thumb to make it roughly worth it. But $5 movies are not very profitable. So we also want those people to hopefully buy some concessions and so forth. And let's keep in mind, we don't really make money. We're a nonprofit, and we're barely getting through, but that's okay. We're providing a service to the community, and we do our best to break even or maybe make some money. But really, it's about our mission. So we don't need a huge number of people to break even. And it all depends on the cost of the movie. If you're talking about a new release, like when we did Toy Story 4, you have to pay 60% of the ticket price to the studio. That you have to fill up the theater with 40, 50, 60 people.
Yeah. And that, Rick, you make a very good point there, that we are in a nonprofit and we're here to serve the community, and we're keeping it running. And theaters, it's a gamble when you run a movie, whether it's going to have enough attendance or not, and it costs a lot, and you're constantly negotiating with people for that. So the break-even price does vary, and it's hit or miss depending on the season and who comes. So all you folks out there coming to the theater, we appreciate it very much. We also like you to become members, and we also like you to donate, because that's the only way to keep us alive. So thank you. How do I make a donation? Well, I can't show you on the screen here. We had that other slide previously. But if you go up into a donation, you can do a donation online, and you can make it donation online. Go to the Bay Community Theater. At the top of the website it'll say support the Bay. Tap on that, and then click on the drop-down member for donate. And you can donate right there. But you can also donate in the theater. And we do take checks, right, Rick?
Yes, we take checks. P.O. Box 847, Suttons Bay, 49682.
Right. So we take checks. We take anything. We'll take stocks.
Yeah, we can. Actually, it's a great way, to sell or to transfer, donate appreciated shares is a good tax strategy as well.
Mm-hmm. So any further on that, Rick, about how to make a donation?
No, we're trying to make it possible to donate and as easy as possible. And it's online is probably the easiest. You can send checks. If you're interested in donating shares, of stock, that's also possible. We have a brokerage account, and we receive shares of stock. That's all doable, and you can just contact us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Rick. Another question there? Sherry, we have another question. Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. We appreciate everybody coming in and everything else. It's really good to hear you say that, because there is a lot of work being done by all the people behind the scenes here. And basically, most of the people are on screen today, including Denise, who's not here today as a board member, and our programming team. We have our operations team. We have a maintenance team, but we still need a lot more help. And we appreciate that very much. And your support helps a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, if you think about it, Larry, it maybe sounds like we have more people working on this than we do, because we mentioned these teams and so forth. We have 2 part-time paid staff, and that paid staff is working sort of 15 to 20 hours a week right now. And those are the only people who are actually taking a paycheck, which is amazing. And that really helps the theater work, and it helps us get through these kind of crisis times too, because we haven't decided to hire all these people and have all these directors of this and directors of that and managers of this and managers of that. No, we've kept it really simple, and I think it's helping us out in these tough times.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Donna.
Is that the Donna who contributed earlier?
Yes. Thank you very much.
I noticed that she's not a full-time resident yet, and I would like to encourage her to be a full-time resident as soon as possible.
It's nice up here. Do we have another question, Sherry? Okay. We're getting down to the last 5 minutes here, and I guess we can start to wrap it up a little bit here. And to say, we want to thank everybody who's been with us for this whole hour, and we want to thank you very much for being here. And again, just to kind of let you know that we are alive, okay? That we have October's Film Fest favorites out now, right now showing, and they're $5 movies. And we had Dave, we have The Manchurian Candidate this weekend. We have The American President coming up in the week after that. We also have Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And then also, just to let you know again, is that we've mentioned it, is Let's Debate the Manchurian Candidate is this weekend. But then also, that's also part of Beyond the Bay, okay? Beyond the Bay is back. For those people who've been asking us when it's coming back, well, it's back. We plan on doing 2 movies a month in the theater and with the discussions. So we'll have a live stream Q&A, same time, or not the same time, same date next week, next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Come in and check on the Bay Community Bay Theater's website, and you'll see the link to the Beyond the Bay live event. Also, if you can become a subscriber, check on your screen down below, and you will see that on your screen down below, you will see that you can become a subscriber to the YouTube channel. And every time we post something to that channel, you will get information regarding that. But what we want to do is also let you know is that we're still alive. And what will help us most importantly, as we've talked about today, is please become a member. Please become and donate to us. Those are 2 things that are going to help us to stay alive. But we are alive. We are showing films. We're doing. And thank you, Karen. I hope we were glad this has been very informative. And thank you very much. I can see some other comments out there by some other people, and thank you very, very much for that. But we are staying alive. We appreciate your support, and we'll continue doing this. And just as we go out on this, we just want to make sure you do see and understand that we are staying alive. So all of you guys out there, just join us in now as we strut down the street of downtown Suttons Bay, as we are staying alive.
Oh, geez.
Come on, Rick. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Jim.
Larry, aren't you going to show the film?
All right,
Here's the
everybody.
film, Larry.
I thought you had the film,
Just remember, we are live. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Jim, Jeff, Sherry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry.
Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive.